Welcome to SJB Radio. My name's Mitzi, and I'm here with Alexa and Elissa.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
So, today was really fun for people in the media homeroom. We were able to go to Suffolk Community College for their radio launch, and it was honestly really, really cool. They had this whole light switch thing. Alexa, what did you think about it?
Yeah, people kept trying to touch the light switch. I was like, stop before y'all break it. But it was really cool. Basically, for those of you who don't know, Suffolk Community College has a really great media and broadcasting program, but they never had their own radio station. So finally, after years of funding and then speaking about it, they finally raised enough money to get their own website that is their radio station, which is really cool. So they invited us to their launch, and there were a whole bunch of board members and then esteemed staff there, and they had this whole thing with the cheerleading team, and the shark came out. Sadly, I don't know the shark's name, but yeah, it was really cool. And basically they had this whole ceremony, and then at 11 o'clock the site went live, and they flipped a switch, which was 11:15. The site went live, and they basically flipped a switch which was supposed to simulate the site going live. And after that, we got to take a tour of a lot of the media rooms and see their whole media broadcasting facility, which was really cool. So yeah, I don't think you.
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, I liked seeing the control rooms. Those were really fun to walk into and to see the equipment that they have. And they had a lot of really nice equipment inside the rooms, and the monitors were super cool. That the way that everything was formatted, and it was really cool. And they showed us their radio station runs 24/7. Yeah. So they were showing us the they didn't show us the program, but they mentioned the programs that they use, and how they basically have everything. I don't remember the name of the program, Alexa. Mm-hmm. How they basically have everything in a queue, and then they could set that up and it'll run for weeks, basically, is what they were telling us, until someone intervenes and changes whatever and works on it, and how they're gonna have different shows and segments that they were gonna add in, and all of it was student run within the program, so it wasn't open to everyone on campus. Yeah, it was just
people in that major.
Yeah, for them, which is really cool, so that they have hands-on experience of what the job would actually be like. So that was really cool to witness and to see how that works. So Alexa, you being a senior, would you be interested in attending?
I mean, honestly, yeah, after seeing it. I mean, not gonna lie, I was very I don't want to go to Suffolk, I don't want to be here anymore, I just want to leave Long Island. But they definitely have a lot of state-of-the-art equipment, basically very top of the line. And definitely after seeing it, I would consider it. But still looking at those out-of-state schools and out the Long Island schools. But definitely, if I had to go local, I would go there because that seems really cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm still a junior, but I'm planning on going to a 4-year in the city because different majors and stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
What 4-year?
I've been looking at NYU and some.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, I want to get into their the Tisch School of Arts, which is pretty cool. It's really nice. And then other schools New School and blah, 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 stuff like that. But besides the point, Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and I'm super excited. It's a great time. I love hanging out with my family, and we blast Christmas music, Puerto Rican Christmas music, which is weird because it's Thanksgiving, but it's whatever. My mom's like, it's Santa time, and I'm like, okay, Mom, that's great, but food and family.
Nah, it's too early for Christmas music. No, I went to the mall yesterday, and they were already playing Justin Bieber,
oh my gosh,
the Santa Claus song. You need to stop.
I went in once. I was in JCPenney's, and they were playing "Beautiful Christmas" by Big Time Rush. Throwback. But yeah, it was an awe-inspiring moment. But what are some traditions that you guys do? Because I know my family, it's the Puerto Rican music and not a huge party, but we're all in bed by 8 or hanging around in the living room. So it's not a huge thing for us, party wise. But I'm curious, what do you guys do?
For me, there's not really much. Last year, my mom wanted to start going around saying what we're thankful for, but we don't really have that many traditions for Thanksgiving. It's mostly just eat and then sleep.
Understandable.
Yeah, my family's kind of the same way, except for literally every Thanksgiving, my grandma makes us go over her house, and she's like, I'm cooking everything. It's okay. You guys don't need to bring anything. And she then complains about later on how she was the only one cooking stuff. We're like, okay. But, yeah, I mean, it's fun with my family because my family is, like, loud and just crazy. So then it's awesome when we're all, like, stuffed and we're all just quiet watching TV. It's like the only time when we're ever silent. But mainly, like, the boys in the house like take over the TV and start watching the football game, and we're all just kind of stuck in like the small kitchen TV trying to watch March of the Wooden Soldiers, which we watch literally every year. We have to see it, or else it's just like it just hasn't been worth it. Like, why are we even there for not watching March of the Wooden Soldiers? That and Twilight Zone marathons every holiday. Those are the two things that we have to watch. So yeah.
For me this year, it's a little different. We usually, like my grandparents and my mom usually do most of the cooking, and sometimes my grandmother on my dad's side will like do stuff. But this year it's a little different because my sister's having her first child. So,
Ooh, congrats.
Yeah. So thank you. We're gonna visit her in Colorado for the time being, and we're gonna stay there till Thanksgiving, and we don't know exactly what we're doing. We don't know how long we're going to stay at her house or her apartment or whatever. I don't even know what we're going to be doing, but we're going to be there with her and her baby. It's a boy, by the way. If you were wondering.
So what did they name him?
They're naming him Brandon after the
what
dad.
happened to Alexander? I want to know.
It was never in the running. I'm sorry.
Yes, it was.
But yeah, so that should be fun. It's my first time going to Colorado. But like, what's weird is like the time difference, at least for me, because like I'm leaving here at like 8 and I'm getting there at like 11, which is weird because it's like a 5-6 hour flight. And then when I leave I think on Thanksgiving, but I get back here on Black Friday at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh.
So like
my brain hurts. I don't know what you just said.
So like my family's coming home at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and then they're like, all right, we gotta go to Home Depot and get those 99-cent plants. Yeah, because it's like the I don't know the English word for it, the red Christmas flower, whatever it's called.
Poinsettias?
Yes, those. My family just always says it in Spanish, so I never know the word, but yes, that, exactly. So they always have them for like 99 cents for some reason, so we always go. My thing on Black Friday is usually video games, because there's always like releases around the fall and stuff. Mm-hmm. So like there's video games like Battlefront 2 that just came out, which like my friend is like, get it, and I'm like, okay. So I'm gonna get that, and maybe some other things that I'll need, I guess. But I don't know. Do you guys do anything for Black Friday, or do you go shopping or anything?
I sit home and watch the news about all the people getting trampled at Walmart. I mean, it's really messed up, but it's kind of funny when you just see people like sprinting full speed to grab a TV, or like what's it called? Keurig? Keurig.
Yeah.
The
I don't
freaking
get
coffee
that.
makers. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't even drink coffee. Like, I don't even think that's it. Honestly, just buy it on a normal day. Like, why is it even that big a deal? I don't
get it. I get some things, but like I don't think that you need to trample other people just to get a certain item.
One guy died at Walmart because they knocked
much.
over this poor old dude, and they just stepped on him.
That's so it's wild how people get for like saving a couple bucks when you can easily do it online on Monday. But yeah, no, it's interesting. I haven't had that problem ever, luckily. I just go in and grab a couple games and leave. And that's usually my deal. My dad has an obsession with like TVs for some reason. He's always like, wow, look at this TV, it's $100 off. And I'm like, Dad, we don't need another one. It's like, where are you gonna put it? Like on the ceiling? Because I don't know where else he plans on putting all these TVs. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, with my mom, I will never forget. She told me a story about how her and my aunt went. It was like the only time she ever went Black Friday shopping, and they were like standing outside this mall. I can't remember what store they were trying to get into, and the doors weren't open yet, and they were like way too far back in the line to really get in. So they're like, all right, we're just gonna hop this fence. So they literally run around. She hops over this like 10-foot tall fence and then like skids her knee and everything. And she's like, I didn't have money that day. I just want to go window shopping. I'm like, don't talk. I'm like, literally, do not talk to me anymore. Like, I'm just why would you go through all that trouble if you didn't even have money?
So, yeah, that's all that we have for you guys today. Happy Thanksgiving, and we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Welcome back to SJB Radio. I'm your host, Aiden, for the sports segment. We're here with Mr. C.
What's going on, Aiden? You ready?
Nothing much. We want to wish luck to everybody that's trying out for all the winter sports this year, like track, basketball. I mean, hockey's still going on, and bowling.
There you go. Bowling. There you go. And congratulations to all the fall athletes on a job well done. And I know for some of them it's sad because it's the last time they'll ever play on the SJB court, field. You know, I was talking to Chris Ramsey, who was in our homeroom, and he was showing me his final play as a Cougar. So for some people, is it a little emotional thinking about that? Your last time on the ice may be coming up.
Yeah, sadly, my team, we're somewhat struggling, but we're still trying to find our groove, and I know it's gonna be sad if we don't win the championship.
Hockey runs its fall and winter?
Fall, winter, and somewhat of spring.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, I know it's going to be tough, like when I know that it's going to be my last game playing with some of my friends that I've been playing for like 4 years. So I know how they're going to feel and how I'm going to feel when it comes that time.
Right. Okay, so moving on to pro sports, where do you want to start, man? All you.
Well, your Boston Celtics are on 11 winning streak.
There's nothing to really talk about. I mean, it's the Celtics. They're doing great.
Yeah.
13-game winning streak. I really have nothing to say. The one thing I will say, though, is for the SJB students who, when my team is losing, they know where to find me. But when we're winning, I can't find them. There's this one student, I thought he was suspended, or I thought he got expelled. I haven't seen him. And I finally saw him in the hallway, and he's like this, and he's ducking me, holding his hand to his face. And I'm sitting there like, wait, where have you been? Nothing to say, because when my team's winning, no one has but the minute the Celtics will lose, I kid you not, 202 in the TV studio homeroom will be filled. Guaranteed. Always happens.
Yeah. Well, the Knicks are doing pretty decent for what we thought was going to be a horrible season, but Kristaps Porzingis is having an MVP type year. I think they're like 7-6 right now.
Yeah, I think the Knicks are doing pretty well, actually. I mean, you have Kristaps is doing very well for them. And
Cantor.
Yeah. Cantor. Did you get a chance to watch the Cavs versus the Knicks the other night?
I watched a little bit of it. I know that there's a little feud between LeBron and the New York Knicks organization.
But I mean, as a Knicks fan, aren't you a little excited to see that excitement back at the Garden and back in New York?
I'm excited. I'm excited to see that the Knicks are doing really well. I mean, it's great. The atmosphere in the Garden is always great when their teams are being successful all the time. And I feel like New York, it's just like it brings that atmosphere every time, every game, especially like when they're playing LeBron and you almost beat them, you lose by 3 points. The Garden will go crazy.
Right. And you know what I think it is, though? I feel like the Knicks team is young. You know, it's not – I feel like there's a direction now. There's not – every single year people are kind of wondering what's going on, but you have young talent. You have Frank. You have Kristaps. You have, Thomas. You have who's that guy off the bench with the beard?
That's killing me.
He's always. I'm always talking about this guy. He's from Queens too. He's at the tip of my tongue. O'Quinn. There we go. Yeah. Yes, O'Quinn. So you have a sense of younger guys who are playing, and I think it's amazing. I mean, granted, I could be a Knicks hater when I want to be, but speaking objectively, I believe the Knicks have the core and what they believe to be a nucleus. And I think if you continue building on that, you have guys who are playing for small contracts. They don't have any free agents, no big superstars. Guys are playing hard. And I think even though the Knicks lose games, but I think as a fan, you're satisfied to see that, you know what, they're playing hard, and they're playing with a lot of effort. And there's no more triangle. That's the biggest thing too.
Yes. I mean, they're all playing hard mainly, I think. I think since Kristoff got the keys to the franchise, I think he's kind of made the team better because he's really showing his true potential. And since Phil Jackson's gone, I don't know if Carmelo Anthony has anything to do with it because of how.
You know what? It's a tough thing because Knicks fans that I've talked to will say, well, Carmelo's gone, that's why they're playing better. But we have to understand it's two things. Again, it goes back to my point about there's no more triangle. So now Jeff Hornacek can run his system the way he wants to run it. He's not forced to run a system that was back when I was in high school, back when I was a kid. Phil Jackson was running the triangle when I was in elementary school. It's true. With Jordan, when I used to watch Jordan and the Bulls in the 90s, they were running the triangle. When Kobe and Shaq were playing, it was the triangle. I think the NBA has changed and the triangle may not fit for this type of NBA. So I think that's part one. And the other part is clearly Carmelo Anthony. And he's moved on. And I think now it gives Kristaps the opportunity to grow as a player.
Out of all the big headlines in the NBA, what do you think has been the most surprising in the first, month
surprising, honestly, I will say is my sleeper, honestly, is the second best team record-wise in the Eastern Conference, the Detroit Pistons. I was looking at the Pistons, and the other team is Billy's favorite team, the Sixers. Yeah. The Sixers are doing well. I think they're at 500. Ben Simmons is leading candidate for Rookie of the Year. We are trusting the process, And I didn't know Billy was a Sixers fan until last week when he came in and said, "Mr. C, I'm a Sixers fan." I thought he was a Knicks fan. So those two teams, I will say, are surprising me right now in the Eastern. I mean, in the West, it's clearly Houston and Golden State. But right now, I would say the Pistons are surprising and the Sixers are doing well for a team that's, if they can stay healthy, they may be a playoff team.
I would have to agree with that. And also, do you think Lonzo Ball will have to change his shot the way he's been shooting this year?
Honestly, you know what it is with Lonzo Ball? I think he's a rookie. It's one of those things where it's like he has so much pressure on him because of his dad and because of his name. But have you ever seen a rookie this scrutinized? The last rookie I saw this scrutinized that lived up to the hype was LeBron James.
Yeah.
So I think people are just, because his name and his dad did all the talking, now it's like, all right, let me see what you got because your dad talks so much about you. I don't think he's what his dad made him out to be.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad that he's thrown under all this because of his dad, the way that he talks. But he shows flashes every once in a while, the game against the Suns early in the year with 29 points, and then the game that he got a triple double. He's showing that he could do it. It's just I think sometimes it just the pressure kind of gets to him.
His shot is a little flat. It's a little off. It's just, it looks awkward if you see him shoot.
Yeah,
it just looks.
It's like you bring it around. And
right. It just looks
weird.
It's funny looking, honestly. No disrespect because I can't shoot a basketball even if you paid me. So I'm the last person to sit here and say someone's shot looks ugly. But compared to the average, normal looking NBA shot that you follow through, it just looks a little awkward. I haven't really seen, for the exception of the game he played against us and some highlights, I haven't really sat down to watch a Laker game because I'm a Celtics fan, so I don't care to watch the Lakers. But for those who do watch them, and sometimes stats can lie. Stats don't tell you. Stats tell you it's only a certain amount. They don't tell you everything. And even though his stats may be down, he could still impact the game without having to be, having to have 30 points and 15 rebounds. He could do the little things of steals here and, making the key pass and so forth to impact the game. So, again, he's a rookie. So can we sit here and really judge him like that? I mean, there are plenty of rookies who we didn't think would be great players, and look at them now. So I think we should step away from what his dad said and just give him a chance to grow. He's a kid. I think he's 19, 20 years old. So give him a chance to grow into himself and become the Lonzo Ball that we're expecting him to be.
To get to Thanksgiving, I know, Mr. C, do you watch a lot of Thanksgiving football or?
No. Honestly, I don't. Maybe I'll flip the channel here or there. I honestly really don't get into. I mean, I get into football with the Giants, but they're terrible, so I really don't watch any football. But I flip the channel. I see who's playing. I see what the scores are. Yeah, I'll see if the game's entertaining. I'll watch it. But for Thanksgiving, I just stay on the couch and just make a run to the market if my wife forgets something. That's my job.
Yeah,
honestly.
I know the Giants are playing, but I really do not feel like watching them anymore.
No, they lost to the Niners this weekend, right?
Oh, yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did. And the Niners have a bad record too, right?
Yeah. I think, there's a lot of talks about McAdoo getting fired, and a lot of people think he shouldn't get fired towards the end of the season. That's what it should be. The Giants, I will predict maybe go like 3-13, maybe luck. If
listen,
lucky,
at the end of the day, when you lose, what's the next step to do? Is what? The draft.
Yeah.
So just look forward to the. I mean, honestly, as a team, when a team loses, and it's just there's always a process of being a fan, and you know this in sports. You could be the championship team, or you could be a draft team. You look forward to building towards your future. So this wasn't the year for the Giants, and honestly, what you have to do is just look to rebuild. Is McAdoo last year? It's tough because last year the Giants made the playoffs, and they got eliminated, but they won. How many games did they win last year? I think it was like 11 games last year. So this year, a bad year. This is his second year. Do you really want to fire him? That's a tough call. I mean, but in sports, we say this all the time. If the team's doing bad, who's the first person who's blamed?
It's the coach.
It's the coach, which is unfortunate, which is sad because technically, he's not playing. He's not playing, but he does set up the chips. It's his job to make, set the pieces up. But it's one of those things in sports which I kind of personally hate is that every time a team's doing, like for example, like the Cavs are doing bad, right? Who's the first person they were blaming?
They got to blame
Tyronn Lue. It's unfortunate. It really is that the fact that you're going to blame the coach every single time a team's doing bad, but he may not even be the problem. So it sucks, but in the game of sports, this is where we're at, where the coach would get the blame, and he would probably be the first person to go at the end of the season. I hope he doesn't, because I think 2 years is not fair of an assessment. If going into a third or fourth year he's not doing well, then I'd say, okay, maybe it's time for a change. But keep in mind, this is his second year. He's not even done with his second year yet.
Yeah. Well, I think the Giants really had to build their offensive line because that is horrible. And a lot of people blame Eli, but I think it's hard as a quarterback to be really well when your offensive line has so many holes in it that you can't. You got to force the ball somewhere or you don't have enough time. And I think that's where the Giants really had to work on. And honestly, for Eli's legacy, if it's going to continue like this, I think he should be traded. And I think one spot that he would be really well in is Jacksonville because Tom Coughlin's there. He's had a lot of success with his numbers on offense under him. And I think Jacksonville's a really good team that's up and coming that needs a quarterback other than Blake Bortles.
Hey, listen, you're a football expert. I'm the basketball expert. I watch football up until when the playoffs get in. I watch the Super Bowl. I'm the casual football fan.
Yeah.
I'm not the diehard football fan. So I trust your instinct if that's what you suggest. I'm going with your opinion on that one because I can't have a say. Yeah, sure, you're absolutely right. I think you should go here because I'm clearly not watching the NFL like as I should be. But I do stay informed. I do know what's going on in the league. I know who's at top and be able to have a conversation. But it looks like the Giants, again, they're headed to the draft. Honestly, that's the best way to rebuild the team is just go to the draft. Yeah. Okay, well, that'll do it here for SJB Radio. We'd like to wish everyone a happy and healthy Thanksgiving. Thank you to Mitzi, Alexa, and Elissa for our first segment. Shout out to Dominic, Ben for engineering our show. And we'll be back after the Thanksgiving break. Please listen to us and share our show, SJB Media News Network. And see you in 2 weeks.
See you.